Okay, we're live. Thank you very much, CU alumni, for adding me to this live stream. Hello, everybody. Please confirm if you can hear me. If you can see or hear me, please let me know. If you can see or hear me, let me know that you can see and hear me. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? If you can see me or hear me, let me know. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Finn. So excited to have all of you here. Hello, Journal sister. Hi, Modesty. Please, can someone let me know if they can actually see me and Finn can see me and hear me. Perfect. All right, guys, so excited to be here today. If you don't know what you're doing here, this is the best place for you to be if you have a career, if you have a business, and most importantly, if you are a CU student. No discrimination, but I mean, this is our community, right? And we are here to learn from very important guys. Not me, right? Today, I'm just going to be hosting this session, and I'm going to be doing it alongside two very important people that will be joining me very shortly, Mr. Bayo and Mrs. Wumi. They're going to come to let us know exactly what has worked for them with regards setting career goals, right? Please, in the chat, just let me know if you've been in that situation whereby at the beginning of the year, let's say in January, you set your career goals, but then as the day goes, right, you don't really understand what's happening anymore. Maybe you lose momentum, or in fact, you don't even understand what it means to set a career goal, right? Put it in the chat. Just let me know if I'm not the only one that has faced that kind of situation before. When January comes, you're all pumped up. In fact, you've set your goals, but then let's say May comes, June, and then you see that you might not have achieved those goals, and then you get tired, you give up, and then you're just going based on vibes. Let me know in chat if you've been in that situation before while we wait for our other guests to join.
Watch this if you want to get rid of the thought of failing.
Sorry. Okay. CU alumni, can you add our other guests to the live so that we can start already? If they are here, please add them to the chat. Hello, Joseph. Hello, Ibrahim. Welcome. Hello, Caris. Welcome, everybody. You guys are not, that means that I'm the only person that has actually set goals and I have not achieved it before. Am I the only person? Hi, Bayo. So excited to have you here.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me as well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great.
You're looking good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Come and lay your hands on us. So.
You know, I was actually thinking it's today Friday because today's Thursday is looking like Friday.
Wahala, I know, right? Hi, Wumi. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Oma.
How are
Hello,
you?
Bayo.
Hi.
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
Wumi?
I'm very fine. So excited to have you here. Nice makeup.
Thank you.
You didn't come to joke, or you didn't. I don't think you only came to speak today. You came to show us the beauty of the Lord upon you.
You know, it's important that we show up and we show up well. So yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right. So beautiful. Before we go into the introductory part, I would just like to say that the two people we have here today are very, like I said, they are very important people. I mean, Wumi is coming all the way from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Like, I don't think I'm meant to be on this stage with you. Sorry, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And then Bayo is joining us all the way from Canada. So you know that these people are not just here to say stuff from their head. They are coming to actually talk from experience, right? So Bayo, we'll start from you. Can you just give an introduction of yourself, and in this format, your name, what you do, and something exciting that the world does not yet know about you? Something exciting, literally.
Wow, that's a big assignment. All right. So, hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is Adebayo Ajayi. What I do, career-wise, I'm a project manager, and professional wise, I'm a personal excellence coach. Basically, I help people succeed using proven principles. And what else? Okay, I think Alma's last question to me is what's something that the world doesn't know
Something.
about me yet?
Yeah.
I think it's cooking. It's cooking. So once it's done, I'm going to serve you.
Wahala. Bayo, you didn't answer the question.
Because the question was too big for me to answer. What does it
No
know about
pressure,
me?
just something exciting about you that we don't know yet.
Hopefully, maybe before the end of this live session, I'm going to think about it.
Okay, I'll
I'll give
answer
a
it
good
for you.
answer.
I think you have a very handsome son. Very handsome son.
Nice. I think the world knows that already. You know.
Well, I didn't know
Thank
it
you.
before today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Wumi, to you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Wumi Adelusi.
Yeah.
I'm a bank examiner with the Central Bank of Nigeria, and I've been working for over 7 years there. And it's been really a great time for me because I not just make a living, I'm also able to make impact through different projects that I've worked on over the years, and I'm thankful for that. I'm the founder of the Millennial Employee, and over there we inspire employees to bring their best self to the workplace and maximize purpose while as an employee. So that's what I do. Interesting thing about me that the world doesn't know, nothing comes to mind.
Oh
Or
my God.
maybe I should take an idea, a clue from what Bayo said. I enjoy cooking, and I think my jollof rice is really good.
Nice.
I can't wait to taste your jollof rice. Someone is saying I'm blurry. Bayo and Wumi, am I blurry?
A little, actually.
Yes, I think it's the network, but I can actually hear you very clearly.
Yeah,
But
the
the
audio
picture
is
is a bit blurry. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys are the important people here today. So as far as you're seeing you, we are good to go. So brief introduction about myself, and I also give something fun about me, or something exciting that I think the world doesn't know, right? So for me, my name is Homa Wogo. I'm a social entrepreneur. I specialize in talent management and development. While I was in CU, I started a talent community and Visage Hub. So what we're basically doing is that we're connecting talent to global and regional opportunities, and also giving them resources like free courses, certifications, so that they can secure these opportunities, right? And currently, I am a LinkedIn certified marketer. And what I basically do now is that I help professionals and business owners to grow an active audience on LinkedIn, right? And also to attract the right people for whatever it is that they do. And most importantly, I'm the host of today's career conversation, which makes me very excited because I've been a career girl in quotes for a very long time, right? Something fun about me, or something exciting, not fun, that I think the world doesn't know is the fact that I don't think I have actually completed a full movie before, right?
Wow.
Like, yeah, like watching it with my whole attention. I don't know why. I think I don't really vibe with movies. Maybe you guys can tell me why. Maybe Wumi can tell me why, because, or maybe Bayo, because Bayo does stuff with regards to purpose and stuff. Please, why is my case different? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why, but I think I've come to terms with it. Bayo, do you have an answer before I continue? Do you have an answer for my case?
I actually think it's just about the mindset. One day tell yourself that you want to break that chain, you want to finish a movie, and you finish the movie, and that's the starting point of new things to come. Just start with that. As simple as that.
All right, thank you so much. I'll try it. Yeah. Okay, beautiful conversation today. Like I said, today we are here because we either have a career, and most importantly, I know that there's one DNA, right, in Covenant University students, is the fact that we like to succeed. I don't know what Papa injected in us, but there's just this vibe and this energy to succeed. And for me, the best place to learn how to succeed, right, is from people that are currently succeeding.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm so happy that both of you, aside from your career or your 9 to 5, you also have experience with regards making other people succeed in whatever they do, right? So before we go on, I would like to establish the people that are on my side, right, or not. And I'll be asking some particular questions. Bayo, you didn't tell us that you were married. Yesterday in our introduction, you told us you were married. See, I was waiting for you to tell us you were married to one wife. I thought that would be your exciting stuff,
Okay.
but you didn't. Right? So I'll just be asking these icebreaker questions. Bayo, you can answer. With me, you can also answer. But I'll ask Bayo first, right? Bayo, when you were in CU, which category of people did you prefer? Red tag girls or green tag girls?
Red tag girls, green tag girls. I'm not sure I know that difference.
How?
During my days in Covenant University.
Red tag girls were people in engineering or CDS or CST.
Okay. You mean of course. Oh, sorry. I didn't know that's what you're referring to. Of course, I was in engineering, so it has to be red tag girls, you know.
Is your wife a red tag girl?
And yes, my wife studied biochemistry in Covenant University, so red tag girls definitely.
Nice.
That's a shame. Sorry, I was a green tag girl, but anyway.
Well, sorry.
Wumi, how about you? Red tag boys or green tag boys?
Green tag boys.
Is your husband a red tag boy?
No, it's not an alumni.
But why do you prefer red tag boys?
Because those were the people you saw often, so it was just expected that you take a liking to them more than the people in CST.
Yeah. I think the average CU girl will pick red tag boys for reasons best known to them. If you're not a CU girl, you won't understand. So, all right. So moving on. Last question I'll ask is CAF 1 or CAF 2. Which do you prefer? Before Bayo answers, if you're in the chat and you're a CU student, you can actually give us your own answer. So I know the people that are on my side or people that are on Bayo's side, because I think Bayo's answers are kind of contradicting mine. So Bayo, CAF 1 or CAF 2?
Actually, I prefer CAF 2 because
why?
There is always queue in CAF 1, so I prefer CAF 2.
Bayo, did you study engineering?
Yes, chemical engineering.
Exactly. Engineering people like CAF 2. Wumi, which do you prefer?
They are cool like that.
CAF 1, please.
Why?
Structure. I know where I'm going to. I know what to expect. I don't want surprises. I'm just good.
Actually, I prefer CAF 1. Also because CAF 1 had more varieties than CAF 2.
Very true.
CAF 2 was, you just know what is in CAF 2, and it was just a weird vibe in CAF 2. I don't know.
I just want to eat and go to bed.
Move from the swallow side to Bashan.
Exactly.
You have peppered rice outside.
Exactly.
You have white rice, beans. And there was you just knew what you can move, and then you find something. Yeah.
Interesting.
Baya, don't worry, we're still with you. I know you prefer CAF 2. All right, so beautiful answers. So let's go into the main topic of today, right? The main conversation. And before you guys came live, one thing I said is that we are here because, first of all, we have a career. We're also here because we believe that you guys are ready and able to pour into us. So feel free to tell us examples. Feel free to be vulnerable. I mean, we are the Covenant University community, right? So we really want to hear what has worked for you, right? So the first question I'll be asking, and I'll be asking Wumi. Wumi, you're working in CBN, right? So last year, I want you to let us know, or first of all, let us know your perspective about setting career goals, right? A lot of people believe that career goals are cliche, right? Maybe you set them at the beginning of the year and towards the middle, they don't work. Attain certain career milestones, and feel free to give us examples how they've worked for you or not.
Okay. So I feel career goals are important. I do them. I do set goals, and I think me is being able able to identify asking myself, am I sure I still want to be here? Is there something I'm not seeing? But again, that process actually took me back to my why. So I was able to identify, okay, I had to understand that my career path was different. I had to understand that why am I here? What do I think I want to achieve with my career? And so that's one of the things that goals does for you. When you are able to identify your goals, then you're able to know what you want to achieve, say on a long term. And that is what goals are really. When you are able to envision where you see yourself, say, in the next 10 years, that would influence the kind of objectives you set out to achieve and the things or the strategies you're going to map out to achieve them. So yes, I believe in setting career goals. And it also kind of gives you something to look out for at the end of the year when you are, just reminiscing about what has happened during the year. You sort of, I don't know, but for me, I like, tick boxes. Like, I like to be able to say, oh, I was able to do this, check. I was able to do that. Not like I put it online or anything, but it is self-gratifying for me. Even when for a very basic example, when I'm exercising, I put on my iWatch because I want to see that exercise ring completed. It gives me that energy to want to do it the next day. So I rarely do my exercising without my watch because I enjoy it. So I enjoy it's just technology saying well done to me, but I like it. Same thing with my career goals. I like it when I'm able to sort of, I feel like I've done something to give myself a pat on the back. And that is one of the things that setting career goals does for me. Another thing it does for me, it helps me to focus. So like I said last year, with the whole resignation and people relocating, when I was able to identify my why, I set objectives. Oh, these are the kind of things I want to do. These are the kind of projects I want to work on. I think my line is towards policy making in the finance system. And so I looked out for projects in that line and I gave my best to it. So I was able to say, okay, this is what I want to do. These are the things I need to do to achieve it, or the kind of trainings. It's career goals is not just one dangling thing. It has other things attached to it. From there, personal development comes in, focus comes in, the ability to even stay and be persistent and persevere comes in, and then you're less distracted. So it's really important. But how we go about it, I think it's another discussion, which I'm sure we'll get into much later.
Thank you very much, Bumi. Okay, so Bayo, right, just to ensure that we're on the same page, Bumi has already told us that career goals are not cliche for her. I'm sure Bumi is one of those people that they set their goals and at the middle of the year, they're still acing it. At the end of the year, they're still acing it. So we have a lot to learn from Bumi. But Bayo, you can let us know, right? Do you think career goals are cliche? Do you think
Absolutely. I think career goals are far beyond saying they are cliche. And those who get great results are actually the intentional ones. The only thing luck and chance can give you is 50% probability of attaining success. So it means that if I what career goal planning actually present us with. So it's so important because how you end something, how you start something, has a strong correlation on how you are going to end it. And that's the reason you find a lot of people, anything they want to do, any role they want to take, any promotion is good, any move to another department, I will move, anything I'll move. And at the end of the day, they are not actually fulfilled. So I think career goals or career planning is not a cliche. It's so important. And I've always said that if there is anything in life you should take very seriously, apart from your family and your spirituality, it has to be your career. Because I've always said that a lot of majority of the reasons why people are depressed or this mental health issue he has a very, very strong affiliation to career.
Yeah.
Either depression because they've not gotten a job, or they don't like what they do, or they have bad bosses, or they are not just doing so well. So career planning is not a cliche. It's so important. And that's why I said that those who bet great results definitely will not leave their career to chance and luck.
Thank you very much, Bayo. It looked like you were coming at me, and I'll tell you why. Because you talked about how something ends depends on how you started it, and then it made me remember when you were telling me why I don't finish movies. So I kind of related to this conversation. If you set your goal with the mindset that maybe at the end of the year I won't actually keep up with it, you won't actually keep up with it.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Well, so there's something that I understand is the fact that when you set a goal, one reason why people don't actually keep up with those goals is because of certain habits, right? So the best thing to do when you set a goal is actually to start engaging in particular habits that favor those goals. So in your case, right, what habits have you developed over time that have ensured that you are actually acing your goals throughout the year?
Okay, so I'll start with I break my goal into smaller bits. So yes, I want to maybe do this certification by 20. Okay, so let me give an example. In 2020, I think it was 2019, end of 2019, I said, okay, I read accounting, I work in the banking services industry, and I felt I needed to understand banking, like what is it about banking, because to some extent it's different from accounting. What is an asset to you as an accountant is different, as a banker. So people already started going to, so I'll tie this into the SMART focal points, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and all of those. So I began to ask myself, which professional exam do I think can offer me that in the next maximum of 2 years? And so I was thinking I could do Chartered Institute of Bankers. And so I registered. So yes, it was a big, long, medium-term goal, but I started by registering. So it was specific. I knew what I wanted to do, measurable in the next couple of years, timely, also relevant to what I was doing and where I was at that time and where I see it, because I knew that, okay, in the next 2 years, which was 2022, I didn't see myself working outside of my current institution. So I had to think of all of those, and then I broke it down into small pieces. Okay, I must write minimum of one paper. I had, I think, 8 papers. So I said I must write minimum of one paper at one sitting, which I even did more than one paper, right? But that for me was my starting point, which is why I said breaking down these goals into smaller bits. A lot of us have big dreams, but I think sometimes we often wait for that perfect moment. We want everything to be in place, everything to all make sense. It doesn't really have to make sense. And the truth is, not everybody has it all figured out. I don't know that person that has it all figured out, except God. So it's one step at a time. And I often choose to measure myself with myself. So I'm not comparing myself with anybody. And that again takes me back to the point I mentioned earlier around, recognizing your why. When you recognize your why, your goals are more personal. And so you are not easily distracted, even when things happen. If I didn't pass any of the papers I wrote at the time, I would have written it again, because I knew that I wanted to do this thing and I just wanted to understand the concept of banking. I wasn't ready to go back for a BSc in banking. So my best way to have that understanding was taking that professional exam at the time, which I'm thankful I did. And so I took one paper. Next one, I felt, I could take more than one. So I took 3. The last one, I took all 4. I was like, okay, because I had gathered momentum. I had started small, and then I went on and I kept building on the momentum. So one thing I do is to break my goals into smaller bits. It makes the milestones even more measurable for me, because then I can say, okay, in the last 3 months, I've done this. Another time I had a goal was I think it was 2021, I set out that I must have done like 4 courses. So I said, how can I break that down? I said, that means every quarter I must do minimum 1 training, which made it easier for me. So I know that if, for example, I did one in February, the next quarter I am already looking at. So I'm not in that place of I'm rushing to. I understand, I've set it out and I've laid, into small pieces, which makes it more achievable, and I enjoy the journey. I don't feel like I'm, bombarding myself too much. And another thing is creating accountability structure for myself. So I know that some people, they enjoy accountability groups and all of those. I don't have those. But what I do is when I have a goal that probably has to do with, making payments, like maybe I need to pay for the exam, I'll just do it. Because I know that once I've paid, it's, it put my commitment out there, and I get propelled to sort of go for it and not change my mind. Or even if I'll change my mind, at least I would have attempted first before I'll know that, okay, I've got it at the time, and then I need to. Those are the 2.
Hello. Bio. Okay. Okay. So sorry, Wumi.
Was I audible?
Yeah, but you were breaking at some point. I don't know if it was from my end. Bio, did she break at your own end?
Yes, she did. I think it's the network.
Okay. Yeah, Wumi, at the end you were breaking, but I believe that we actually took the main stuff you were talking about. And most importantly, I believe that the habit of breaking your goals into smaller bits is one very important thing, because especially when it comes to setting year goals, right?
Yeah.
Because when a new year comes, people just bombard themselves with stuff and they don't give themselves the time to conform to those goals. Because yes, it's still yourself, right? A new year is as good as another new day. And if you don't give yourself the time to conform by ensuring that this big goal you have set, you have smaller bits that you can start from, daily goals, what you can do. Like Mumi said, she started taking certification, started taking trainings. So for people watching, please ensure that you break your goals into smaller bits and also have accountability structures around. So Bio, before we go to your question, right, you can let us know any career goal habits that has helped you, right? Anyone you think you are dropping this year, maybe you used to use it before and you see that, okay, this stuff wasn't working out again. Feel free to give us examples. We'll be happy to hear. So you can just let us know before we go to your question.
Okay. So let me just add something on that. And I actually think the reason why a lot of people don't actually set career goals is because they don't do it right. We have to go back to the basics, which is the how do you set career goals? And there was something I defined. It's called top to bottom goal setting strategy. The first thing about let's pick goals in general. You want to set goal. What's the first thing to do? Is the sector I want to set the goal in. So now the sector will be career, because we are focusing on career planning. And that's the first basics. Okay, so career, that's the sector. The second thing is that what are the objectives? If it's only one, what is the objective I want to be? It can be I want to get a new job. And your objective needs to be smart, just like Umi said to us. It must be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time bound. And I even added there's one more. It's called EST, which I call smartest goal method. The E is emotionally stable, because there will be obstacles. So how mentally prepared are you for those obstacles? And the S is the strategy, which I'm going to talk about. And the T is you now transfer those goals to your subconscious, so that you don't even need to look at where you've written down your goals. You know exactly what you need to do this year as regards career. So let me go back to the top to bottom goal setting strategy. The first one is the sector. That's the first one. The second one is the objective. What exactly do you want to or if it's only one, what is that thing you want to actually attain? If it's more than one, what are the objectives? The one is it that you want a promotion. Now, when do you want that promotion? It can be as little as, I don't want a promotion this year, but I want a good appraiser this year. That's actually a massive objective. And it can also be that you know what, I want to relate more with people in other departments. That is an objective. So
Yeah.
the objectives are not, I want to get a new job, I want to get promotion. No, that's it's not important that that objective is as big as that. And that's why I said that people don't set goals the right way. You don't set goal under pressure. And the most important thing, you set goals based on your values. What exactly is important for you now? What exactly is important for you this season? And it's so important that you need to do all those things. And the last part is the strategies, which I call the biggest jackpot. So, for example, if you said, oh, this year, what I want to do is that I want to get a good appraisal this year. If that is probably your objective for your career goal in the year 2023, if you stop at that, I can beat my chest that it's 50% formula that will happen to you. And what's that 50% formula? It means the probability of you attaining that goal or not is just 50%. But you can boost that result to 100% by doing what? By having strategies. And strategies are, example is what one of the things Wunmi said, how exactly do I leverage my accounting background to my banking experience? Oh, let me take the CIBN exam, for example. That is one of the strategies. So strategies is more like the actions that we take to actually get those goals. And that is actually the reason why people don't actually hit their goals, because they don't set goals the right way. So, like I said, start with the sector. What are the objectives and what are the strategies you need to ensure that you get those results? And most importantly, again, ensure that the goal you are setting is aligned to your values per time, because situations are different, dynamics are different. Okay. So I thought I should add that.
Thank you very much, Bayo. Yeah, he deserves it. He deserves a round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bayo. Please, people that are watching, feel free to type the punchlines that our speakers are giving. I have literally taken my own pen and paper because, you guys are good. Please feel free to put in what you're learning so that we can know that it's a two-way conversation. And most importantly, right, at the end of this conversation, a very beautiful alumni is sponsoring Bayo's book and Wunmi's book. And I myself, I'll also be giving away a slot for my next LinkedIn growth program. So ensure that you stay active till the end, because we're going to have a very massive giveaway at the end. I'm sure that you want to hear more stuff from Bayo and Wunmi, and the best place to learn from people are from their books. So you want to learn from their books, right? So Bayo, right, your question now. Now, in 2023, there are certain things that are coming up right now. There are advent of topics, some trends, and I'll give an example. With the advent of AI, especially stuff like ChatGPT that has come now and is everywhere, and I'm thinking to myself, there are some roles that will be questionable now, right? There are some things that people would normally hire for that they don't need those people anymore. Now, with regards setting career goals, right, especially for 2023, are there some topics, are there some trends that you believe that we should all look out for when we are setting goals for this year, especially?
Okay. I think the question you asked is actually very important at this season, and I'll be talking on something a bit sensitive, but permit me just talk about it. And it's about jumping on trends. And a lot of people are not actually conscious about this. For example, we saw that while the pandemic was wrapping up in majority of the countries, a lot of companies, tech companies, Google, Amazon, and they did massive recruitment. And people that were working in good places jumped into tech because tech was what was booming. And you're talking about 12,000, 18,000 layoffs. A lot of people were affected. I can tell you that some of those people, they jumped on those trends because they just wanted to get good salary and what was trending. To go with trend, absolutely not. But your trend must align with your values. And that's why I said, I'll give a good example. When I was about coming to Canada, I got a job from Canada while I was in Nigeria. It was more of a business transformation manager. And it was more of applying project management to tech industry. And good job, 6 figures, amazing job. And I didn't enjoy it. Like, I did not enjoy it. It was not like going, it was not going the way I wanted it to go. And I remember when I got to Canada, I asked my colleagues, like, guy, you want to leave 6-figure jobs? One. Number two, this is telco. This is the future of the world, though.
Yeah.
Don't do this. I'm like, I'm not enjoying it. I'm a project manager, but my experience has always been in the consumer products goods, or what we call the FMCG. I'm not enjoying it. And guess what? I started training my CV out there, and I got a senior management position of a project manager in an FMCG. One, the job is not aligned to my values. Number two, 10% salary increase as well. So at the end of the day, it was a win-win for me. So it's so important that even though something is raining now, you must ensure that it aligns with your values. Now, if something aligns with your values, will there be obstacles and uncertainties? Absolutely not. Absolutely yes, there will be obstacles. But because it aligns with your value, that willpower that pushes you to try again is there. But if something doesn't align with your value, what you are in it for in the first place is just the money.
Yeah.
You don't even know where to start from. Do you get my point? So ensure that even though you are going with the trend, check it with your values. Does it align with your values? If it does, of course you can move to it. And now saying the other part of your question about would there be some roles that will be obsolete? Absolutely yes. Technology. And that's why I've said that every single time. I think it was Abraham Lincoln that said that I do not take a man seriously who does not advance positively today than where he was yesterday. So actually, if you are in a role and you are not looking at what is new, then there's something wrong. Actually, there is something wrong. And I think Wumi was saying that every single year of my career since 2018 to today, I have always taken a certification or something different in terms of my professional career. This year alone, I started my executive MBA. Last year, I took a Scrum Master certification. 2 years ago, I took project management exam. 3 years ago, I took black belt exam. You have to advance every single time. And to be honest, because don't forget, what said, when preparation meets opportunity, success is inevitable. So it's so important that you prepare for your tomorrow today. Fun fact, the new job I got as a senior manager, when I saw my other colleagues at work, the middle-level manager, the only difference between myself and them is the agile certification I have. That's the only difference. That's the only, and I took the exam. I took that certification not because I needed it at that point, but I was preparing for my tomorrow. So yes, if some roles will be obsolete, it depends on how you are today. So it's so important for you to prepare for your tomorrow. Don't just say, oh, I'm any good salary, I'm very well, I'm okay. I'm like, get to a point that you need a new higher salary before you prepare for your next level. That's too late. Yeah. Like, get enough salary that you know what you are even saving 50% of your income. That's actually where you should get to. Not like, oh, my salary is not for me, I think I'm fine. No, prepare for your next level today. And it's so important. Yes, new technology, new trends will make some roles obsolete, but you can also prepare for that tomorrow today. And I think I'll stop there for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Bayo. Thank you, millennial employee. I really wanted to say that if you're watching, please type prepare for your tomorrow today. Very important. I think something that distracts most young people is the money that's associated with their roles, right? Like you said, you literally had to drop the 6-figure job that did not align with your values. So one important thing that I myself am going out from this conversation with is the importance of your values with regard to your career, right? So thank you very much, Bayo. Wumi, to you, right? Wumi, now I've learned from you, right, with regards how you've set career goals, and then you do stuff and you see that you are consistent with your career goals even till the end of the year. Now, one thing that I've also come to understand is the fact that for a business or for anything to succeed over time, there has to be structure, right? Even for Bayo has placed around some structures with regards to his career, with regards learning, having certifications every year. So in your case, Are there some structures or some tools, frameworks that you have put in place to ensure that you are adhering to those SMART goals that you've talked about, that you just talked about?
Okay, so permit me to reiterate some of the things that Bayo spoke about. Bayo, you were so eloquent and spot on. And I said that because I share those beliefs as well. 2018, before the jackpot, I was already planning to elope. And
Hello,
I
I
was
can't hear
so...
me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I think it's Homer's network. Homer, can you hear me now? Bayo, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I think I'll just proceed for the sake of time. Okay, so I was going to just reiterate some of the points you made earlier around, identifying your values, don't jump on trends. Those are some of the things that has helped me stay consistent with achieving my career goals. So I understand my why. So I'm not, even the Bible says it, don't be blown away by every doctrine that comes. So I stick to, so when it looks like, oh, Wumi is really hitting it, it's because I'm very focused and blind to the trends that is happening, and I understand my journey. I understand my career path is different from others, so I stay focused. So it helps me to, so identifying your values, it cannot be overemphasized. If we are going to set and slay our goals this year, our career goals in any sector really, even in our lives generally, we have to be able to understand that I'm doing this for me. And so regardless of what trend come up, I'm consistent and I persevere through. And like you said, there will be challenges, but of course, because you have a personal connection to why you're doing it, you are able to persevere. Also, I wanted to talk about the place of preparation that you mentioned when you were rounding off your speech. It's so important because a lot of times I realized that a lot of us want popularity without preparing. So we want to be out there, but we are not preparing. And it's so dangerous. The best time to prepare is when you are not even out there. So that by the time you are out there, you have substance to give. It's so important. And in the words of one of my mentors, she will say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So if you don't want to perform woefully at your goals, it is important to prepare for them. Prepare for the kind of opportunities you want to attract. That is how I say it. So if you're saying, oh, I want to work with some people. So what kind of preparation have you put in place? That is that. Now for the question Homer asked me, I think it was around what I do to stay consistent. Please, Bayo, could you confirm if that is it?
Yes, that's it. The tools and all that you use to stay consistent.
So aside creating structure around, accountability, if I need to pay for some things, I pay for them. Another thing I do is I want to be a better version of myself. So I identify that, oh, this part, I didn't do this thing well. And I take feedback very seriously. So when I get a feedback from, say, my boss about a report or anything I've done, and maybe they are not so pleased with it, one of the things I want to do is I want to read more about that thing. I want to feel like, oh, maybe there was something I missed. If I had read this thing more, I would have done better. So I find myself from time to time, I can have, like, before now, I used to hate having so many tabs opened on my laptop or my phones, but now I've joined the gang because I'm constantly opening tabs simultaneously to look out for new things to learn. I'm all like, if you're giving me something to do now, I don't just jump on the thing. I want to learn more about it, no matter the knowledge I have about that thing. So it's really important that, we cultivate the habit of learning. Continuous learning is so important. Thank you. And it's so important. It cannot be overemphasized. Like, learning never ends for me, literally. Sometimes I'll just go on YouTube. I'll just type in something. I just want to know. There was a time last year I wrote a lot of speeches. Oh my goodness. I wrote a lot of papers, like a lot for my boss. And so from time to time, I found myself just, how did Obama, write his inaugural speech? I just want to, like, I identify the best people and I want to learn from them. And sometimes it's through books. Sometimes I ask questions. Like I just go to LinkedIn. If there's someone that I feel has a knowledge that can add value to me, I'll send a message and reach out. Sometimes I've had people not respond, but most times you have people respond because honestly, people want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about their journey. So
Yeah.
I reach out to people, ask questions. I try to read a lot, even if it's just one article. Sometimes I just glance through, just pick something new, like, oh, what's the statistics saying, or what's the thing saying. That has really helped me a lot. So learning is really important in achieving our goals. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wumi. So sorry I missed you at some points, but with the things I've learned, the things I heard rather, you spoke beautifully well. Thank you. I just want to be sure that you can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So in my case, I'll just add something little before I move to Bayo. In my case, a particular framework I've used is something I call people, places, and platforms, right? So Wumi spoke a lot about learning, and that learning would actually cut across these three things: people, places, and platforms. And I noticed that there's some kind of people that you relate with, that you just have a different energy to ace your goals. The kind of people that will be in your circle, or you will be in their circle, the kind of people that make up your feed, right? When you're scrolling on LinkedIn, when you're scrolling on Instagram, who are the people you see, right? These people, in a way, they have a large role to play with regards what exactly you're doing with your life, right? How you're acing your goals per se. And then platforms, there are certain communities that you need to be in. There are certain places you need to learn from, right? Those things have helped me a lot. I remember last year there was a particular event I went for, and coming out of that event, it was like something entered me. Literally, there was courage to actually go out and do stuff, right? So for people that are listening, you need to set up frameworks, be in the right community. Let your friends not be the the kind of people that would make you feel like you're doing too much, because if you have those kind of people in your circle, you will tend to relax at some point. You actually tend to get comfortable, right? All right, so that's from my end. Bayo, are there some structures, tools, and frameworks that you use with regards staying consistent with your goals?
Yes, and I think apart from all the life skills things we've talked about, it's just about physical structure. And I've always said that you can't have goals and just have goals in your mind. Then if you have goals in your mind without on paper, is a wish, and anybody can make any wish. So put down your goals. And I remember this year I bought what's it called now? It's called a daily habit tracker. It's an Excel file. I saw it somewhere and I bought it. And I was just laughing at myself. I'm like, I've been teaching goal setting for almost 10 years and I'm still buying stuff till today. And the reality is that you compare the money I'm spending on all these little tools compared to the impact it's going to have is significant. So I don't mind keep spending money. So it's you can have goals in a paper, print out the paper, paste it somewhere. You can have it on a Google sheet, which is what I do, so that on my iPad, on my phone, on my laptop, I can see my goal. I can be working and I just what are the things, the strategies I need to do because I need what I've not done. So make sure your goals are in print. It can be in digital print or in pen print. Ensure your goals are in. It's so important. And the good part about the daily habit is that every single day, every single week, and every single month. So the goals, my strategy, and I said something about the strategies, objective, and the sector strategy, objectives, and strategies. So my strategies, I try to divide them into days, into weeks, and into months. For example, of course, career goals, most of them are mostly in months and in weeks. So I have things I track on a daily basis, all the goals together, career, finance, every other thing together. I track them daily. There are ones I track weekly, and there are some I track monthly. So it's so important. See, whatever is not measured cannot be monitored. Whatever is not monitored cannot be improved upon. So it's so important that you measure your goals so that you can monitor them and so that you can improve on them. So that's the other tool I just want to add is you can print it out. you can try to have it on a Google sheet so that you don't need to print and save the planet, so that you will not be printing paper. But it's so important that you visualize your goal. It's so important. For example, I was telling someone that every single day I check my bank app, and it wasn't was weird. I'm like, yes, as it's so powerful for me. Like I'm just drifting a bit to finance, like, because I have to monitor it to see what is happening every single day. And of course, if you live in UK, Canada, US, you know that you can be sleeping and they'll be debit alert. They've taken money for one thing, for one light bill for the other. So I want to ensure that they are not taking what I've not said they should take. So I monitor it. And that's why, like I said, it's so important you track your goals. So if you said, for example, that I want to meet new people in different departments, and you say every week I want to meet someone new, how will you know that week 1 you have not met someone new? How will you know that week 2 you have not met someone new? If you don't track it, you will not know. So that's why I said to you that whatever is not measured cannot be monitored, and whatever is not monitored cannot be improved upon. So yes, visualize your goal and track it as frequent as you can.
Bayo, you're hitting the nail here. Measure, monitor, and improve upon. Most times we kill ourselves for not improving when we are not even measuring or monitoring. Please, if you're here, please type in the chat, measure, monitor, and improve upon. Thank you very much, Bayo. Don't forget that at the end of this session, 3 people are going away with Bayo's book. 1 person is going with Bayo's book. 1 person will miss book, and the 3rd person is going away with my 20 days LinkedIn growth program. So you don't want to miss out on it. Now, Wumi and Bayo, I also need your input in this particular question, even as we wrap up, but I want to hear from Wumi first. So there's an ongoing trend of, Bayo even spoke about it, of mental health. Everybody talking about their mental health. And we understand that one of the major stressors of people's mental health is their careers, right? So people might leave this conversation and go to set goals, and then after some time, they might be doing what Bayo is saying, but they can see that they are putting some form of pressure on themselves. So I want to know, right, how are you able to balance between setting goals, right, and not putting a lot of pressure on yourself such that it disturbs your mental health?
I know mental health is, mental health, burnout, it's a topic that is at the front burner now in the workplace. And I kind of feel that sometimes we lose momentum or we feel burnt out when we are no longer enjoying what we are doing.
Yeah.
So it's easier to be mentally stressed when you don't enjoy what you're doing. And so tying it back to where the conversation started around your values, identifying things that align with your values, it keeps you going. So I would say sometimes it's considering maybe looking for another department that you could move into. I know of someone who, I think it was 2 years ago, she reached out to me and said, she's a lawyer by training. And so she was in the legal services department of her institution, but then she wasn't enjoying it anymore. And so she said she felt like doing something strategy. But each time we spoke, she sort of had complaints about her boss, and so I told her, I said, you know what, you probably need to evaluate whether you're enjoying what you're doing. And so when she came back to me, she said she realized that she thinks she actually wants to change department. And since she changed departments, in fact, sometimes when I look at her on LinkedIn now, I'm like, wow, you caught the fire and you ran with it. Because so the exhaustion wasn't really because of her employer or where she was working. It was because she wasn't enjoying what she was doing. So I think it's important that when we feel that way, we come back a little. Someone I know will say that if you want a catapult to go far, sometimes you pull it back, and the farther you pull back, the farther you launch out. So sometimes it's important that we go back, think about what we are doing. Are we still enjoying it? Does it still align with your values? What changes can you make? Do you think that you can probably volunteer in some projects done by your organization in some departments that you would enjoy? Something to give you fulfillment. The news came out when Jacinda Ardern said, she was stepping down and all of those things. Well, that's been taken in different lights. one thing you'll see is, one thing I perceived, in my opinion, is she probably wasn't enjoying the role anymore.
Yeah.
And so the burnout was, the exhaustion was increasing, and so she couldn't take it anymore. So anytime we are feeling burnt out, it probably is a signal that we are not enjoying what we are doing, and so we are losing momentum. And so it's easier to lose momentum, even if it's January 1st. You can feel like, you've been in this year since. So you probably need to consider or reevaluate your position as to what you are doing now. Another thing I would say is understanding that career is a journey, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And so, like you mentioned, Bayo and Homa rightly highlighted, you need to measure how far you've come. So progress over perfection, right? It's so important. A lot of times we want everything to be all perfect before we step out and do some things. But then the truth is you've improved from what or who you were a month, 2 months, a year ago to where you are now. So it's important to take stock of that. It really helps to revalidate what you're pursuing, your objectives and your goals. Another thing I would say is that it's important to show up. I know that it can sound like, you are asking for too much from someone who might be feeling exhausted or burnt out. But sometimes we don't know how much we're going to enjoy what lies ahead until we show up. So you have to show up to determine, okay, this is not what I want. But like Bayo highlighted, if you don't even set the goal in the first place, you only have 50% chance. So it's important to try. You never know until you try. So that's what I would say on that note.
Thank you very much, Mumi. I think the whole perfection thing is what makes people feel pressured, right? You set your goal, and everything you're thinking about is just that goal, and you're not measuring. Like Bayo said, you're not even monitoring progress, and then you tend to feel very burnt out. Bayo, what do you have to say concerning setting goals and not allowing it to pressure you?
Yeah.
Bayo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, so joining my voice to what Wumi said, I think that, if there's anything I like about Gen Z people, it's about they have so much guts. And when I say guts, like they don't want anything to just affect their mind. Once they are tired, they are tired. And yes, I'm also a proponent of what happened to the New Zealand Prime Minister when she said, she has given so much, the seat has cost her a lot, and she's taking a bow. I loved it. It's so important that you know when to close the door when you're meant to shut that door. It's so important. So I think, for example, when you understand the essence of goals, the essence of goals is that it just gives you that long-term vision, which helps you to position for the short-term motivation. So if you feel like this long-term vision I have defined for myself is not what I want again, then why should something not make you sleep at night? Then just stop it, because the essence of the long-term vision is so that those goals can give you short-term motivation. So if that long-term vision is no longer there, it means that you don't need that short-term motivation anymore. Then just turn around. There's no need to sweat over it too much. That's one. And the second leg is this: of people don't want pressure, and every single thing in life comes with pressure. And I'm saying this because Robert Schuller once said that tough time never lasts, but tough people do. Your goals will cost you. It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you. It might cost you friends. It might cost you your time. So it's tough, and you need to. Do you know what it means to get promoted among 100 others? Do you know what it means to become a director when there are probably just 10 directors in that company? Do you know what it means to get good appraisers when there's something called a Bell's curve, which is that only 10% can exceed the expectation appraiser? So it's going to cost you, and you must be ready. And that's why I was saying that when you look at the SMART goal, there's something called the smartest goals. Smartest goal setting, the EST at the back is emotional stability, strategy, and transference of the goals to subconscious mind. So it's so important that you need to understand this already, because you see, greatness does not come on a la carte. It's tough. And that's why very few people end up being great, because these are people that want to pay the price. So I've tried to balance it. The first part is that if this is affecting your mind, you set the long-term vision yourself because you want a short-term motivation. If you know that you're no longer picturing that long-term vision, revert the wheel and just back up. And the second part is that be ready to be stretched. So it's not going to be easy. Do you know what it means to say that you want to achieve greatness? It comes with a price, and you must be ready to pay that price. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bayo. Wise words, wise words. In fact, I got one of the questions that I'll be asking for the people that are going to qualify for the giveaway from this thing you said here today. So right now, I just want to confirm, can you guys hear me, please? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So sorry for my internet. Yeah, so Wunmi, I would like you to give us your final words, right? What would you say to somebody? Because I know that you guys have told us a lot of strategies. We've learned a lot. We've learned new terms from Bayo. We've learned about your own experience. But what would you say to somebody who has already started 2023? The person already set goals, and maybe the person has lost momentum for the year, right? Let's say the person set goals for the year, and January those goals were not met, right? What would you say to that particular person?
I would say go again.
Yeah.
So I've had times that, I've set goals and I felt like I didn't do well at them. But what I did was to go again. So I mentioned at the beginning of how I wanted to do a certification and I went ahead to register. But what I didn't say at that time was how long it took me to decide if I was going to do it. And the moment I decided to do it, of course, I went on and on and on. But the thing is, at that point of thinking, because I can be a very detailed thinker, like I'll think, and then time will pass. So I've had moments like that where in the process of thinking, the opportunity has passed. In the process of thinking, things have happened. But I would say go again, show up again, like just try again. You never know. Just try again and don't give up. Even the Bible says, cast your bread upon many waters. So keep trying. And if you probably need to re-strategize as to reevaluate those objectives as a whole. Because like Bayo mentioned, when it is your vision, it is your values, it is your why, there's just a different kind of vibe to it. It will be challenging, it will stretch you, right? But there is an inner force that is propelling you, so you're not depending on your external circumstances or environment to sort of push on. So it's important that you are truly convinced about your objectives, and if you are going again and it's not working, then there's something you're not getting right. There's a famous quote about it is madness to be doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. So if you are not getting the results you want, then something is missing. So I would say maybe take a personal retreat, look at those goals. What do they mean to you? Are you pursuing them because it's trendy? Are you doing this program, this certification because, well, that's what is raining now? It's really important. And that is where fulfillment in the workplace even comes in. You find that there was a research I read, I think it was last week, around people who find fulfillment at what they do, they live longer. So you need to, yes, it's work, you are making a living, but you need to be convinced about the impact you are able to do, or how fulfilled that work makes you feel, or that objective makes you feel. And if you've tried and tried, you've gone again and it's not working, then maybe it's not just time. You are not ready. You've not processed it into your subconscious. That's smartest that Bayo was talking about. You've not really processed it into your subconscious. But like Bayo highlighted, which I'm going to reiterate, is that it's not going to just drop on your laps. You have to be able and willing to put in the works. Extraordinary results require extraordinary effort.
Beautiful.
So that's
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wunmi. So for anybody watching, Wunmi has told you, go again. If January is not looking like the January you planned for, right, go again, right? You would actually lose out more if you decide to give up now. It would be better that you actually go again, because you can never tell what would happen. Right. So Bayo, I would also like you to give your final words to anybody that has lost momentum, or somebody that set career goals at the beginning of the year and did not meet it. But before you come on, I would just like to say something with regards the whole mental health thing and how it relates to your career. Right. So one thing I noticed last year is the fact that, and it also happened to me because it got to a time when I actually got burnt out, and I discovered that most people don't understand the difference between resting and enjoying, right? Because most of the times we think that enjoyment is rest. So you say, okay, today I'm going out with my friends, today I'm going out with my family. As much as that is enjoyment, it might not necessarily be rest for your career, right? Rest is that place where you, like Wumi said, you sit back, right, and re-energize for better results. So you shouldn't be in that position whereby you just want to go out, enjoy, and then you think that is rest, because you still there'll be tendencies for you to still burn out even when you're enjoying and having fun. But when you intentionally rest, right, you take leave when necessary, celebrate your achievements along the way, right, reassess your progress regularly. When you see yourself intentionally resting, then burnout will be far away from you, right? So I just wanted to add that there. So Bayo, you can give us your final words. What would you say to somebody that has lost momentum already?
Just to add to what Wumi has said, I saw something 2 days ago. I think it was a quote from Simon Sinek, and he said that there's a difference between losing and failing. He said losing reflects the scores or the results, whereas failing reflects the attitude. And that's why when you see, for example, I'm an Arsenal fan, when Arsenal won Manchester United, it was not that Manchester failed to Arsenal. It was that Manchester lost to Arsenal, because the game results just reflected the score and not the attitude. However, a football reporter can say Manchester failed to defeat Arsenal. Now, what they are referring to is the lifestyle or the attitude to which they were able to respond on the pitch to Arsenal. Now, I'm saying this to let anyone listening to us know that failure is not a noun. So when you fail, it's not that when I fail, it's not that Bayo is a failure. Is that Bayo has failed at this event. So failure is just all about events, and every single one of us has failed. In case you have not failed before, congratulations. You might, or maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say it's going to come soon. I don't want to say that, but see, and the good part about failing is that failure just pushes you beyond your comfort zone. I've always said that comfort is the enemy of progress. And when you fail at a task, it means that, just like what Wumi said, that you can't fail at something and you don't change the strategy and you want to get something again. And that's why she said that madness is doing something all over again, the same thing all over again, and expecting a different result. I'll give you a very personal example. In 2020, I wanted to take the project management professional exam, and as usual, I like smart work. So rather than if you know the PM book, which is the syllabus for project management exam, is very huge. So I just checked a summary notebook, and my coach there, Gaga, I just read a class notebook, blah blah blah. I read summary. I went to write the exam. 4 hours exam. I was sweating. It was the longest exam of my life because I knew in that order that I had failed. It was evident, but you have to finish the exam. And 2 hours into the exam, you failed the PFL exam, and I was still there. And guess what? After that exam, I told my coach, and I told myself, I told my wife, I said that I'm going to write this exam again, and I'm not only going to pass it, I'm going to pass it so much that the exam will know that somebody wrote the exam. And guess what? I wrote that project management professional exam again. I passed it up above target. And not only that, after passing the exam, I started a learning institute called PMP Hub, where I wanted to help those that want to write project management exam, the exam. And the first training I had about 10%, almost free, because I was just interested in, because when you're upset with something, I was so upset with PMP syllabus that I wanted to shame PMP syllabus, and a lot of people passed that exam. The first cohort I had, it was almost free. they passed the exam. And guess what? Then now I've built a school with PMP up, training those that want to write both the PMP exam and Agile. And last year and this year alone, we have made millions from that learning institute. And don't forget, all this started from the fact that I failed at PMP exam, which was aligned with my career goal of becoming certified. So make sure that you shame failure, because failure is not you. Failure, you failed at that event, and the score means that you have not done well. Just prevent the will. So don't lose the momentum. Don't at all. And guess what? If you lose the momentum, it means that you've now accepted that you're actually a failure. But I'm sure none of us are failures here. So don't worry. Failed, it means that you want to come out of your comfort zone and you want to get better results. And guess what? The best of people in life are failed. Think about it and check. The best of people are failed. And it's until you push yourself and you know what? Just change the mind. Just the mind. And that's why Oma is going to give us feedback on how much she's finishing movies now. Because she's going to show us that she can actually do whatever she set her mind to do. So do you get my point? So don't worry. Failure is an event. It doesn't mean you are a failure as a person. Put yourself together and shame that failure. And that's actually when you can achieve your goals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bayo. And yes, I'm going to give feedback of how hopefully I'll complete a movie in 2023. Hopefully. Thank you so much. Like you have said, also as Mumi said, we have to go again. Failure is just an event. I don't think I've met anybody that has not failed before. And as Bayo said, if you've not failed, we're clapping for you. And we're not saying that it's going to come soon, but it's most likely that it might come soon. So just be on the lookout. So for the people that have started 2023 and you're already feeling discouraged, I'm sure that Wumi and Bayo have already spoken to you personally, right? And it's time for our giveaway. And this is how I'll be picking my 3 winners. In case you don't know what you're going to win, if you're just joining us, 3 people are going to win beautiful gifts today. One person is going to win Bayo's book, right? You've heard Bayo speak in just an hour. Imagine when you read his entire book. You've heard Wumi speak. Imagine when you read her entire book. The name of Bayo's book is Success Handbook. So one person is going to win Success Handbook today. Another person is going to win The Millennial Employee by Wumi. And whether you're a Gen Z person or you're a baby boomer or you're a millennial, this book is actually going to help you. And then the last person is also going to have 1 slot into my next LinkedIn Growth Program. And the first question I'll be asking, right, is something we all learned newly today, and that is smartest goal. So the first person to type in the chat what exactly the EST is smartest goal means, right? That person is going to win Bayo's book. So smartest goal, what exactly does the EST mean? What does EST stand for? Bayo, you'll be the one to pick our winner. So the person that types what EST mean, you are the winner of Bayo's book. And I'm on the look. If you have the answer, just type it. Neither Bayo nor Wumi can type the answer. Okay, someone has said emotional stability. You have to say the 3. EST. What does E mean? What does S mean? And then what does T mean? Okay, he has said E and S. What does T? T. E for emotional stability.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, I think we have our winner. We have our first winner. We have our first winner, and that is Abumad Akeleke. I hope I pronounced your name very well. Bayo, please, can you call his name and congratulate him for winning your book?
Congratulations, Abumad Akeleke. You can just send me a DM at Success Bayo. Just send me a DM at Success Bayo.
Okay, please send a DM to Success Bayo on Instagram. You have won the book. Congratulations again.
Congratulations.
This giveaway is being sponsored by an alumnus of Covenant University, and we're very grateful to her. Now for Wumi's book, The Millennial Employee. Now,
Can I win that?
Pardon?
So can I win that?
Okay, so for Wumi's book, right, this question is going to be open-ended. So we're going to pick based on the first person to type. If you know that there's something that really caught your attention, there's something you learned newly today, or maybe a punchline that someone said today that you're leaving this Instagram live session with, please type it on the chat. And you'll be favored if your punchline is something Wumi said, because it's Wumi's book. Buyer, someone is asking for how much your book, for the cost of your book. Maybe he wants to buy it.
It's 500 naira. So
okay, buyer's book is 500 naira. You can just send him a
it's
DM
a small
to buy
book,
his
so
book.
yeah.
Send him a DM to buy his book. Send him a DM to buy his book. So Wumi, for Wumi's own book, please tell us something that you've learned, something that really caught your attention that either Wumi, buyer, or myself said today. Okay, someone said you are not a failure. Someone said enjoyment is no rest. Abuma, you can't win the two books. So allow other people to, even if I want to really favor you, because you said something I said, but I mean. Okay, someone said go again. This leaves go again. So Wumi, please, can you pick the person that you want to win?
Okay.
Someone has said you are not a failure. Someone has said go again. Someone has said measure, monitor, and improve upon. So Wumi gets to pick the winner.
Okay, so I think we should just do first to type something. You're not a failure. That was what Bayo said. And that's the first comment I see here. So we're not Bayo. Yeah. And that game is, let me see who the person again. Let me see the person's name. Give me a moment. June Kiddies Place. Yeah. So congratulations. Yeah.
June Kiddies Place, congratulations. You have just won The Millennial Employee by Wumi Adelusi. Congratulations. The final person, so please ensure that you send Wumi a DM so that you can get access to your book. The final winner is the person that is going to get access to my signature LinkedIn growth program. And this is how I'll be picking the person. I want to give the person that has stayed on this call from the beginning till now. So if you know you've been here from the, and please be honest, we are Covenant University students. If you know, sorry, not students, alumni. If you know you've been on this call from when I started, or let's say when 3 of us started till now, please just put your favorite emoji in the chat. I'm going to be picking the first person to answer. If you know you've been on the call from when we started till now. Wumi, someone is asking how much is your book?
Right, I'll send it now.
Okay. So no one has been here since we started. The Millennial Employee, I think are you not Wumi's person? Wumi, is this your person?
Yes.
This person that is
Yes,
no,
please.
no, you don't.
Please.
Sorry, you don't qualify.
But it's not me.
Employee. Okay.
It's not me. It's another person handling the page.
Oh, really? So should we give the person, or should we give another person?
Yes.
Just
let's give the person.
If she
please.
deserves it, or if the person, don't let me put the gender out there, so they'll not say I'm gender biased.
We know the gender already.
If you feel like the person has been here since the beginning,
okay. I think I really have to give that person, because the person has been very active, putting punchlines in chats and following up. Very beautiful. So because I also want to give another person, and that's the person that put the love emoji, I would give the both of them access to that program. So get ready for your LinkedIn to be on fire. Don't worry, you come to testify next time we have a career session like this, because your LinkedIn is just going to be blazing hot after that program. So congratulations, the Millennial Employee and Ekwelude. People on this call, you guys, your names though. Ekwelude. Congratulations. So excited for all of you that joined us today. Thank you, Bayo. Thank you,
Thank
Wumi.
you.
Thank you to Covenant University, the alumni community, for setting up this beautiful conversation. Thank you to our VP Careers and the entire careers team at Koala. We're so excited to be here helping you through your career journey. And please look out for more. Please look out for more opportunities we have for you, because this year is going to be a year that you will literally remember everything that's happened to your career because of all the events that we are going to be rolling out. So thank you again. For our winners, please endeavor to message the people that are giving you their gifts, either the books or their programs, and we'll be glad to see you in our next session. Please take a screenshot of the 4 of us on this live session and tag us. You can say something you learned. We'll be happy to repost. Please, Bayo and Wumi, please, can you smile as they take screenshots of us? Okay. Okay. Beautiful smile. Wumi, this is your makeup. I'm coming after you. And your hair too.
Yes, please. I'm taking master classes, so.
All right.
Just
Thank
kidding.
you. She said, "Worth my time." So much clarity. Beautiful. All right, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much, Koala. It's
Bye.
been a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.